Hello, today for review I've got a bit unusual thing. When I've found that Hidizs released a new version of AP80 copper one, I decided that I definitely need it for my collection. You know, I'm a fan of copper and I think that everything getting better when it's made of this noble metal. Even before Hidizs released AP80 in stainless steel as well as aluminum version, I've did a aluminum version review. I will add links to the description, and it's still one of three best affordable digital audio players. I've already told about it many times, but I think that currently Hidizs AP80, FIO M6 and Hidizs R3 are most interesting options in the up to $200 segment. Copper version actually is a bit different, or it's more expensive. Its price is $250, but sometimes Hidizs have sales, so you can get it even for a bit less. But actually the most surprising thing here is that sound is different. I'm far from idea that the matter is in the case material. Probably Hidizs decided to retune something inside with amplifier, but about the sound we'll talk a bit later. Besides the sound and material, actually it's the same AP80 with all its features and with everything that this player can offer. As far as I remember, AP80 Pro with two digital to analog converters is in the works, but meanwhile we will speak about this copper version and let's have a closer look. Package is fairly simple, it's just a black cardboard as it was done for the previous version of AP80. Technical specifications are more interesting, so 2.5-inch IPS touchscreen, 480 by 360 resolution, bidirectional USB digital to analog converter. Actually now with new firmware it even supports UAT transfer and all other codecs like LDAC and so on. So what else? It has FM radio, step counter. As a digital to analog converter here used ES9218P. All formats are supported, DSD. Power is 75 mW per channel at 32 ohms load. Nice figures of total harmonic distortion and so on. Battery is 800 mAh per hour and it's up to 15 hours of work. Actually I usually got 12 or 13 hours, but it's still pretty good work time for such a small player. So inside we will have player itself. For a while I will put it aside. Also you will have warranty card, simple silicone case, and two USB cables, actually longer one for charging and to use this digital to analog converter and so on, and shorter one to connect this player to some external digital to analog converter as a transport. Manual, and screen protectors and high-res audio stickers. So actually package is simple, but accessory set is pretty nice. In terms of design, it's an absolute copy of regular AP80, it's just made of copper, and because of that it became heavier. If regular one was about 70 grams, this one is close to 100 grams. But still it's one of the smallest dubs ever made. As you can see, here is Tempotec V1A. It's a bit bigger, and even small FIO M6 is also bigger. It has nice convenient rectangular shape, and I think it looks pretty attractive, at least to my taste. So micro SD slot, it doesn't have built-in memory, so micro SD is required. Headphone output and USB for charging. Also it can be used to access to the memory, to use it as digital to analog converter, to use it as transport and so on. Here is volume control, also it's clickable to turn on and device on and off. And 3 buttons for playback navigation. So let's turn it on, and actually here is the screen. It's maybe not the best one, but definitely not the worst one. It's pretty bright. It's really visible under the bright lights. It has pretty good viewing angles. As you can see, there are slight borders around it. At the right side, border is a bit wider, so just a bit wider screen could improve everything, but still pretty good screen for the portable audio player. And it's, you know, a really good device for everyday usage. It's small, it's long lasting, it has all modern capabilities, so everything that you can expect from the modern DAB it will give you. I suppose in future it will be covered with patina, because I like this aged brass and aged copper. I suppose it will show the signs of usage, because it will make it more noble looking. Firmware is developed by Hidizs. Actually, it's based on the same code base that Hidizs is commonly used, but they've added here this additional menu. So player, FM radio, step counter, separate Bluetooth, system settings, and about. So FM radio, it's common, but you need to insert headset. It's average in terms of quality, but when there are good radio stations near you, you can definitely enjoy it. Step counter is absolutely basic. You just start it and you start walking. It will gather the information, but of course it needs to be moved more actively than I do now. So Bluetooth, turn it on. Also you can here turn on Hidizs link to control it from some other device. You can select different quality of Bluetooth. As you can see, a lot of Bluetooth codecs are supported. Bluetooth volume adjustment, if you need increase or decrease, if your device requires additional control of volume. System settings, language, music database update, brightness, backlight time, color scheme. You can select different tints of color to customize the experience. Font size, actually I prefer to increase it a little bit. It gives better control. USB mode, storage or digital to analog converter, button operation when screen is locked, theme settings, actually adjust date, clock display, clock time, idle timer, sleep timer, battery percentage, standby, inline remote, recording steps, lock volume knob, screensaver settings, firmware update, reset. So basically that's it, and of course information about the device. Player is also familiar, we've seen it many times before, so it's list of your tracks in the media library, favorites. You can move it back, or here you can access all tracks by files, by artists, by albums, by genres, and by format. Favorites, recent sent playlist, now playing screen. So let's start some track for playback. So add to favorites, track navigation, play order. Here you can list now playing, delete, equalizer, and all other different stuff. And basically here in the menu database update, equalizer, MSEB, it's familiar settings, different sound tweaks like more warmer, more lighter, and so on. Pretty convenient thing to tune the sound. And play settings, play mode, order, DSD output time, resume playback, gapeless playback, sound field if you need some kind of crossfeed effect, but actually it's better to keep it off. Maximum volume, remember volume, crossfade, gain, replay gain if you like, anti-aliasing filter, play through folders, play through albums, so all filters that supports by this digital to analog converter is present here. Basically, firmware is pretty feature-rich. Everything that you can expect from modern DAP it will give you. Zero issues, everything is working pretty smoothly and pretty nicely, so I really enjoy using this DAP. And of course about the sound. Basic or regular version of AP80 is natural and sometimes leaning towards a bit brighter signature with crazy, well, maybe not crazy, but with high level of detalization and slight focus on the micro contrast. But for copper version, company decided to create a different tuning and they've added more weighty and warmer signature. So let's have some earphones on the table just to provide some attractive picture, and let's speak about it in more details. So bass is weighty, it's massive, it's slightly less resolving compared with regular AP80, but resolution is still pretty good and it's really solid in building foundation, and it gives the overall warm signature to the whole representation of this dub. Pretty enjoyable way of highlighting things, more body to the instruments, more weighty vocal. Bass is really deep, it's controlled well, so depth of bass is present here. It's slightly accented because of added weight, but of course there is no accent on the frequency response, just a matter of added weight and mass. Bass is pretty tight, so everything that you can expect from nice bass you will have. As an example, I've got Juno Reactor, Our World. Of course, it's typical Juno Reactor with all prominent bass lines and with a lot of instrumental parts in one track. So this player, well, maybe not perfectly created for such genre, but definitely suiting it well. You will have this groovy and enjoying bass line. Mids are also built with additional weight, with additional mass, so all vocalists will have more body to their voices, more presence. So player is a bit more intimate in terms of staging, so it's a bit smaller in terms of imaginary stage than regular AP80. In comparing with other dubs, it's about average both in width and in depth. So it's moving vocal a bit forward, so it will create additional sense of depth, and at the same time it's pretty good in the macro dynamics, so different motions, blows and stuff like that will be played in really enjoyable way. It's also more forgiving to the quality of the recording, so while AP80 was pretty critical, this one is more forgiving, so it's better suiting something not recorded well. So let's have an example for the mid frequencies, and it's one of my most favorite bands. It's the Mars Volta and track named Ilyena. So sorry, I even don't know how to pronounce it. Ilyena. I have no idea. I should Google it before, but I didn't do that, sorry. I really like this track. It's like the quintessence of the Mars Volta's craziness in the music, and it's sounding really great. When I first listened to this track, I thought that something happened with my digital tonal converter that I used that time because of the distorted and noisy sound at the beginning. It sounded like some failure, but actually it's just an intro for the track, and then it quickly explodes too fast and really enjoying melody and tune, and this player really represented in really nice way. And treble. So treble is pretty good for this price, for this size, of course, and it has normal extension. Actually, treble was good with AP80, and this dub shares a pretty similar treble performance, but it's just shifting accents. While regular AP80 was more linear on the mids and lows, and because of that its treble sounded more forward and a bit brighter. This one has more weight on the lower parts of sonic spectrum, and because of that treble here is not that prominent as in regular version, but it still has normal attacks and decays, pretty good resolution and level of realism. Actually, attacks and decays are a bit faster than they should be, but just a tiny bit. So you know, it's typical Saber chip, prepared in a really good manner. Of course, there is no layering on the treble and overtones are a bit simplified, but to get proper layering you need to consider something of much higher segment. And as an example, for the treble I've got Deep Purple, made in Japan, one of the best live concerts in the history of hard rock, perfectly remastered version, and it's the Mule, nice percussion, and thanks to this great remaster, actually this percussion here recorded in really good way, with a lot of efforts of sound engineers put into this recording, and this player plays them pretty nicely. Of course not perfect, and but still they are sounding pretty realistic, and you can easily find the difference between different types of these cymbals, so it's sounding really realistic. So basically, to summarize everything once again, a bit warmer dub with added weight on mids and lows, and pretty well developed treble. And speaking about driving power, 75 milliwatts for 32 ohms load, it's not the super powerful, but still it's okay, so it will be enough for almost all in-ear monitors and for many headphones. Maybe some power-hungry planars won't be a good load for this tiny dub, but besides that it can drive virtually everything. And what is most important for small portable dub, it has a really low level of background noise, and because of that it performs really well with in-ear monitors. And briefly a few words about comparison. So compared with regular AP80, it's warmer, it's darker, it's a bit less resolving, but at the same time it's more forgiving on the treble. Comparing with Hidizs R3, actually they are some way close in terms of signature, but this one is a bit better controlling low frequencies, a bit less resolving on the mids, and a bit more natural and extended on the treble. FIO M6 is more natural and with less added weight on the lows and mids, and FIO playing treble a bit better. So what other models I can recall, actually I don't know, so let's speak a bit about the most important question: does it worth it? So basically, you know, with this player you paying a bit extra for this premium case materials. Of course, you know, for $250 add like $50 and you can get, for example, iBasso DX120 or FIO M9 that are better sonically, but they are bigger and they are not as convenient as this one. If you are limited on your budget, you can get regular Hidizs AP80. It's a really good dub. Its price is about $150, so basically, you know, this one is $100 more expensive, but of course it's not, you know, there is no direct proportion between price and quality in this time, because part of this price went to the premium case materials. But if you're limited on budget, so you can get AP80, it's really great, and probably new AP80 Pro that should be released pretty soon. Actually, I don't know how it will sound and what it will give, so we'll see. But anyway, if you like something fancy, if you're looking for some not only well playing but also a stylish dub, I think it's one of the best offers in this price range, because it's built really nicely and It's sounding really good, and especially if you like a bit more weighty representation, it could be a great option. So it was Hidizs AP80 Cu version. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.